Hi guys, Mark Dawes here, and as you're probably aware, I've retired from the business now, and Rab and Travell are doing a great job in running NFPS Limited. And now, if you've been following me on various social media platforms, you'll know that I've been putting a lot of posts out about mindset, meditation, and mindfulness practices and those sort of things, because that's the direction that I've decided to go down, not from a business point of view, it's purely from a personal development point of view. And it's been quite interesting. For example, on Instagram, we hit 7.1 million accounts in 90 days. I picked up 250,000 followers. And I'm getting asked to do all sorts of things like retreats and put workshops on. So retirement is not as quiet as I planned it. But as you know, from my involvement with NFPS and the guys, the mindset stuff has been really important because let's face it, anyone can run a physical course. It's not rocket science, okay? And you can get this qualification and that qualification, or train with this company and train with that company. And that's fine. But it's the mindset stuff that's important. That's why on the Restraint Instructors course and the Self-Defense course, and in fact all the courses we ran at NFPS, the input on the mindset, the quantum thinking stuff, as I love to call it, was so important. And it's so important that Rab and Travell have invited me back in September to do some workshops and run some sessions on the mindset side of things. And this is really important at the moment. And one of the reasons it's important is if you Google compassionate restraint, you'll see a whole list of stuff coming up from different websites that are talking about the need to be compassionate when you're restraining someone. And I agree, you should be. But there's a couple of problems. I actually emailed some of these organizations that are talking about it, and I asked them what they meant by compassion and how do you train in compassion. And they couldn't give me an explanation. So they're mentioning it, so it's a great buzzword, and it's used to create policy and procedure, but they're not teaching people how to be compassionate. And that's something that I've been doing for a long time. I've been studying this for many, many decades now. And the other thing is this: if you look at what happens to us physically when we get involved with a situation, we're presented with a threat, for example. Okay, so someone has to respond to an incident and go there and use physical force. Well, when the brain processes that information through its various visual, kinesthetic, auditory channels, that information goes to two parts of the brain. It goes to the frontal neocortex, and it goes to a part of the brain called the amygdala. Now, the distance between the amygdala and these sensory inputs from the brain is very short. The distance to the neocortex is much longer. So a lot of the stuff they're talking about says that when you're presented with a situation, you need to think about your emotional response and then physically react. But in terms of our biology, we're hardwired to have a physical response first, and then the information comes back from the neocortex to balance out that physical response emotionally. So the fight and flight response is triggered. Now, you can do all the conflict management training you like, you can do all the reading, you can become intellectual on this, you can get a certificate to say you've done it, but it's not important. What's important is the result. It's the output. So what I'm going to be showing you on the September Restraint Instructor Award course and on the Self-Defense Instructors course is how you actually develop compassion. I'm going to show you how it's done. I'm going to teach you how to actually do compassion and teach you what you need to learn. Because if you understand how to practice compassion, you can build that response gap between stimulus and response. You can widen that gap so you can become more compassionate in any activity. And I'll guarantee you, you'll be blown away. In fact, I'll tell you how much this has been taken up in different areas. In the past 3 months, I've been invited to go to literally every country on the planet by people who want to know more about mindset, compassion, meditation. And they're wanting me to go to Canada, America, Australia, Belgium, France, Italy, Sweden, Rotterdam, Netherlands, Australia, Bali. I mean, honestly, I've had people invite me to all these countries to these retreats. And I've so far said, look, I'm retired, I don't want to do this. But because I love what NFPS stands for what we built, and for the work that Rab and Travell are doing, I'm going to come back and give you this input that I'm being asked for worldwide on that BTEC Level 3 Restraint Instructor Award course in September, and you won't get this training anywhere else. So let me know if that's of interest to you. If you're interested in the course, I'll leave a link below where you can get in touch with Rab and Travell and book on. But I would book on sooner rather than later, because I do know that places are becoming quite limited. And now, since people have found out, because they've told some people that I'm coming back to do this stuff, people are starting to book on, and those places are becoming less and less. So if you do want to book on that course, do it now. I guarantee you'll have a ball, and you'll get more than a certificate on this course. You're going to get training that I've personally developed over the last 30 years that will change the way you think about what you do, and it will change the way that you actually approach stuff. And if you change your mindset, you can literally change your life. All right, have a great day. I'll speak to you all soon. Take care.